Hi everyone, welcome to today's virtual field trip with Sam's Point. My name is Amelia, I'm from the Ellenville Public Library. Apologies to our viewers who tried to join into the live Zoom. The reception out here is not fantastic all the time, and I kept getting kicked out. So we are just going to record this.
Hello, my name is Becca. I am the Sam's Point educator, and we are going to talk about owls today. So I have a couple different things here. First, let's talk about a couple different kinds of owls that we have in our area. I don't think we have the great gray owl, but we definitely have the great horned owl. We have the do we have the long-eared owl? These two I'm actually not 100% on. I'm sorry I started with them. I know we have the barred owl. I know we have that. That is a very common owl here in the park. We have the barn owl also. Difference between barn and barred. You see barred has that nice white face. Barn has that nice white face, and barred has these bars on it. Barred versus barn. And we seasonally get the short-eared owl. The short-eared owl is an owl that is it lives in the Arctic during the summer, and during the winter it migrates down here. A good place to see a short-eared owl is the Shawangunk Grasslands, which is a national wildlife refuge in the town of Shawangunk. It's not very far away, so I recommend you go do some owl watching for that. You can see a barn owl, and a great horned owl in our areas. So we can't talk about owls without talking about their owl pellets and a couple other things. So let's talk about their food chain. What do owls eat? So we have a great horned owl here, and we have a barn owl here. And so you don't see an arrow going from the barn to the great horned. They don't eat each other, but they have similar diets. The great horn will start with the rabbit. So great horn will eat a rabbit. Chipmunk can be eaten by the snake and then eaten by the great horn, or just straight up to the great horn. We have a mouse to the barn. Mice can also go up to the great horn. Mice are very common. Some of their most common things eaten by these beautiful birds are rodents, including mice, and then they eat other birds sometimes. And they also eat shrews, which are not rodents, but they're similar. And the way we know that they eat them is by their pellets. So they don't have a digestive system quite like we do. So they don't have any teeth. This is a bone clone. So it's not real bone, but it's meant to look like real bone. And you can see inside of the beak, they have a beak because they're a bird. There is no teeth. I will open it just a little bit because it's not really meant to be open. So there's no teeth. So they have to kind of eat things whole and crunch them on down. And they use their very sharp talons, which is another clone here of a great horned owl, to grab we'll say rodent and eat it. They eat it in one big swoop down the gullet, and they have a stomach do they have a stomach? I have a couple things here. We have a couple. So they have they have essentially two stomachs, and one of them gets the food, and then the other one the food goes down, and they absorb the nutrients that they can use, and there's some things that they just can't use, like bones and fur. But they don't defecate like mammals do. They actually form it into this hard ball here, which this is a piece of it. A hard ball, it's made of fur and bone, and they cough it back up. They regurgitate it, which is very interesting, but that is one way we can see what they eat. And so I have started to dissect this if you want to come look at it. I have a piece of a jaw here. I'll flip it over for you. Piece of it. This is a smaller jaw. You can see they're not the same jaw. And we have this bone and this and that little like piece of a shoulder or something, and then this is a little vertebrae. And so let's dive into this owl pellet a little further. So they're very satisfying to open up. And we do have owl pellet programs here where we let people dissect them. So I see this in here. You have to be very gentle. Okay. We have that. Fun little bone. We have okay. These I don't collect these from the wild, so I feel comfortable to touch them with my bare hands. I will just wash them after, but they are sterilized. We purchase them. Somebody else collects them, and we purchase them.
So you don't recommend going out and finding
I do not, because rodents, I wouldn't say owls, but rodents carry a lot of diseases. So I don't recommend it because of that. I mean, they cause the Black Plague, so you don't want to mess with anything of that nature. Not saying you will get one if you dissect an owl pellet, but oh, what do we have here?
Is that a skull?
I think it is. I
I
think
think that's a small bird skull.
it is. Okay, that fur there.
So owls will pretty much eat anything smaller than they are, won't they?
Yeah, they will. Or if we go back to the food chain, it's a barn owl. There's the food chain. You can get snakes that are bigger than an owl, great horned owl, and rabbits. I mean, some rabbits I wouldn't say are bigger, but they're a similar size. So they will eat. They will go after a meal. So I know it's probably kind of boring watching me do this, but let me just get a couple more pieces out of here.
So not that it's a good idea to get them yourself, but where would you see owl pellets in the wild?
You can see them when you go on a walk, especially in an open field. That is where I would see them. Like the Shawangunk grasslands, I have seen them there. Anywhere like there's a foresty, open field, natural habitat for an owl. I've seen one just walking when I would walk down the road, just hanging out in a tree.
Oh, that's not a bird. It's like a rodent.
It's a rodent skull because you can see the yellow teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can see the eye sockets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, eye sockets similar. I mean, not the same, but similar to that one.
Yeah.
And so the other cool thing about owls is they can turn their head 360 degrees. So they can not like all the way around, but they can turn it one way and then turn it back the other way. And that is, they're incredibly silent as they move through the forest.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just beautiful, wonderful animals that we get to share our forest here with.
Yeah. Oh, I have a fact.
Yes.
One of their ears is higher than the other.
Oh, do you know why?
Yeah, it's how they tell direction based on sound in the dark.
Okay, yep, that makes a lot of sense. So they can kind of judge it with the sound. Very, very wonderful.
Yeah.
Have any other owl facts?
Well, their ears look really gross when you actually see one.
Oh yeah, I've held screech owls before, and screech owls are our tiniest owls. They're only this big, and
Oh my
they're
goodness.
very, very cute. And they're extremely light. I usually hold 2 at a time. I've held them through a rehabilitator that we've had at the park, Annie Martinet, up in Rosendale.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've gotten to hold them with a glove, and she's certified and everything. And she's one of our local rehabilitators. She's a wonderful one. So let's see if I have anything else to share with you on my little flip chart. We have the pellets, catching the prey, and dissecting an owl pellet. So these people use gloves. I meant to bring the magnifying glass. I'm so sorry, but you got a good zoom in. And if you'd like me to send you any pictures of them, I could. So yeah, so you can see the rodent skull that we had. There's definitely a little rodent skull here. We have a pelvic bone here, lots of little ribs, a vertebrae right there. Definitely lower jaw. Definitely a rodent. This is definitely rodent. So it's really fun to just kind of be an investigator. I don't think we have a vole. But it's fun to be an investigator and go through owl pellets. I buy them from Acorn Naturalists. It's a wonderful website to get a lot of natural science teaching materials from. Great for kids. Great for kids. Yeah, but owls sometimes, they're migratory owls. Sometimes owls stay here all year round. They just, it depends on what kind of owl it is. All the other ones are kind of the same.
Mm-hmm. There are some stuffed owls inside. Do we want to take a look at?
Yeah, we could go take a look at some of the stuffed owls. I will leave this here, and we can go take a look at some of the stuffed owls.
And you guys can see the inside of the park facility if you've never seen it before. Okay.
We can go in this door.
Oh, sorry. Haha. So there's an art exhibit right now.
Yes. Local artist Monica Cohen.
Oh, I know Monica. She's done exhibits in Ellenville.
Yeah. We have one owl. Two owls, one owl. Two. The screech owl that I was talking about.
Okay.
And then the great horned owl. That's the one that we had the skull of and the talon.
Oh, going for that
Red squirrel.
Yeah, that poor squirrel doesn't have a chance.
But that's part of their food chain.
They look kind of silly when
They
they're
do.
stuffed. But yeah.
So thank you guys. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And I believe we'll have another virtual program in December.
Yeah, we'll see you in December when we will be talking about wildlife survival.
Yeah.
And that's survival of wildlife, not survival from wildlife.
Yes.
So have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.